Alternative people need to be more punk. The years keep going on by and we progress more into the 2020s. We're seeing more people express themselves and more people try to be individuals, which would also be known as being alternative or being a part of an alternative subculture. Now, being alternative is both political and not political at the same time. You might be asking me, what do I mean by that? It means that expressing yourself inherently shouldn't be political, but just because of the world we live in, it just is for some reason. It goes against traditionality, it goes against social norms. It was so fucking dark I had to switch it. This new filter gives me lashes for some reason, but just lock in. So my point is, Gen Z is being prevalent within the alternative scene. There's a good portion of alternative people to it's a good like maybe 1 in 4 Gen Z people are alternative, I want to say. Whether that's you being a geek, being a nerd, or being one of those extremists, like, what's it called, maximalist, self-expressive, alternative people that fit into certain subcultures, subgenres like that. And the thing is, that's exactly what I'm focusing on. I'm trying to focus on the mass of people that are self-expressing nowadays, trying to say that, man, if these masses were punk and they were advocating for their punkism, then maybe we would actually get somewhere with a revolution. Now, it's not like I'm forcing people or I'm saying that I'm forcing alternative people to be more punk than they are. I'm just simply making a point that if alternative people, 100% of them, were actually punk and were actually unified and working on one same goal of deconstructing the government, then I think it would work. I think something would actually happen there. But then here's the thing, guys, 99% of America is working class. There is no lower class, there is no middle class, there is no upper middle class. It is just working class and the elites that don't have to do any work because they were born with a business to their name. So ultimately, it's 99% of America's population against 0.1% of the American population. So I could very well target each citizen of America and ask, why aren't they revolting? Why aren't they punk? Which is a harder thing to do, yes, but it's easier to go after the people that are already non-conforming of traditional standards and values and expect them to do more. Because I'm just gonna throw it out there, a good portion of the alternative community is white people. And you might think I'm a white person. I'm not. I'm Mexican, which is a part of the people of color umbrella. So even if I'm pale and this filter is making me even paler, I'm still a person of color. I am not white. Unless you're going by a cop's standards, then sure, fucking racial profile. Go ahead and say that. But anyways, back to that point. A good majority of alternative people are white. A good majority of the alternative people who have platforms, who go viral, who are seen the most, I see are white people. And these white people have the privilege to non-conform. Maybe not socially because they still are gonna get bullied for it, but they come from a more resourceful background to the point that they're more able to express themselves and non-conform. And if you were able to stand up to society and say, I'm going to express myself no matter what, no matter if you think it's weird, if you think I'm ugly, if you think that I'm a bad person, I'm going to express myself no matter what because that's what I want to do. Now, I applaud everybody who is able to do that. You know, I was able to do that. I dropped out of school. Now, what's the next step? Actually, what is it? Because we're on our teenhood, turning into adults, what are we gonna do? Once we stood up to society and said, I don't want to conform with the cosmetic values or the personality, the traditional personality. You just don't want to conform with the traditional values that society has set upon us. But once we become adults and the society, the system expects more from us, what are we going to do? Like, genuinely, what are we going to do? Because at that point, we're going to have to cut off all her hair we're going to have to cut off all our hair to appeal to workplaces. We're going to have to change literally everything about ourselves from at least a 9 to 5 kind of basis, just so we could appeal to workplaces and basically become a cog in the damn machine. So that's the thing, we're being self-expressive when we're younger and we're in our teenhood, but as soon as we become an adult, now there is 10 times to 100 times more pressure to conform with the system. Because this is around the time where you start actually obtaining consequences for not conforming. And if we in our youth decided to all revolt, take that next step without stalling, then I genuinely feel like we could possibly do it. Why wait? Literally, why wait? You gotta unify, you gotta build some type of community, some kind of common ground here. Otherwise, you're gonna grow up and be a worker like everybody else. It's like the common trope of, oh, they used to be a punk when they were younger, but now, when they're older, they're an upstanding citizen. Either that, or it's the common trope where they're a punk when they're younger and they die when in their 20s. And I persuade you, alternative person that might be watching this video, do you want to die young and not make a difference? Do you want to grow old and become a cog in the system? If you answered either of those with no, then try building a community. Try unifying with anybody that you know that is like-minded with you, and try to do something. But by any means, revolt and speak your mind. There is not going to be a lot of time for us to do that. And we are actively running out of time to do so. Anyways, that was about it. See ya, I'm gonna go record another video.